Okay. Anybody you want to highlight out of the lineup when we go to that?
I'd say Jack Blake.
Perfect. And then for Colorado, maybe Juan. Oh, he's not starting.
Actually starting. Probably Dylan again. What do you mean?
Yeah, that works. Or we can talk about Romero's playing. Note on him. I missed that at first. Was on Columbus Crew last year. Okay, so Stephen Hogan, the sporting director, we believe there are 2 number 1s in the building right now for goalkeeper, and I think that competition will push both of our goalkeepers to higher levels. So let's play on that for sure. We'll do that. We'll do him for for when we switch to Colorado's lineup. Colorado Springs. I did see in their notes. We can't say
just Colorado. Yeah, I saw that too.
They would be none too pleased with us.
Did he get all 3 of their first games? Do we know?
No. Herrera did. Oh, okay. I think it's his first start. Let me check Fatma. USL Championship soccer is back in the Circle City, and the boys in blue are off to a hot start through the first 2 matches of the year. But they welcome their biggest challenge of the season so far. The reigning champs are in town. Colorado Springs Switchbacks and the Stars of Naptown surely won't sleep on the champs as they're seeking their first victory of their young season. Last season, it was star-studded for Colorado Springs. It got off to a slow one early in the season, not winning their first 5 matches, no points through that time. They made a run of epic proportions into the final against a Rhode Island team that also made its very own run, and they hoist the trophy in the USL Championship final. And of course, we know that the boys in blue for Indy 11 would love nothing more than to make a historic run like that. Welcome inside our broadcast booth and welcome to the mic alongside the great Brad Ring of Indy 11 lore. I'm Joey Lindstrom. Brad, Indy is unbeaten through its first 2 matches. They're one of 6 teams to do that, but Colorado Springs would love nothing more than to ruin the home opener of Indy.
Always good to try to ruin a home opener, but yeah, Indy's off to a good start. Obviously 4 points out of a 6 possible with 2 road games. They're looking to get off to a bright start here at the mic.
And they did that on the road. First match of the year was against Miami FC. 3 goals from 3 different goal scorers. Jack Blake, Pat Hogan, and Aiden Quinn all contributed. And last week against Lexington, newcomer Bruno Rendon added a goal and earned USL Team of the Week honors. The second time an Indy 11 player has gotten that. Jack Blake had one as well for his performance against Miami FC.
Yeah, a couple goals off set pieces there. The first game against Miami, obviously, run a play as well. But yeah, off to a good start. You see the Rendon strike there, which is amazing.
And built back from the defense, Sean McCauley's been pleased with the effort so far for Colorado Springs. A bit of a different story, again seeking their first win this season. Appeared to be a dominant performance from Sacramento Republic last week, but 2 late match penalties inside the box in the 85th and 96th minutes gave 2 penalty kicks to Justin Dillon for Colorado Springs to get the point on the road and escape with one.
Look, it's only a point on the road, but that type of performance, late goals, getting a tie, can be massive for confidence.
And for Justin Dillon, he makes his 2nd season with Colorado Springs, and he makes a serious effort up top, according to James Chambers.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of confidence, right? 2 PKs there in the last game to get the point. He's got to be really confident heading into this game against Indy.
Speaking of confidence, if you will listen to Soccer Saturday, you heard about Bruno Rendon, and we do talk about Bruno here at the mic. He is in the USL Team of the Week this week, and he is a player that has shined early in his first season with the 11.
Very dangerous. He can play on the right, he can play on the left, he's got pace, he can finish. He's been a great acquisition for Indy.
And not only that, a real spark for this team as well. A whole lot of personalities working together for the boys in blue, and the Brickyard Battalion is ready to go to cheer on Bruno and the rest of the guys from the Circle City. Going to be a fun one today. The stage is set for soccer back in Indianapolis. While the clouds may not let the diamonds shine, they still live forever. Colorado Springs trying to defend its ground and get its first win of the year. It's all next on ESPN Plus and MyIndyTV.
This is Molly. She loves road trips, hikes, her dog Max, and cars that fit her lifestyle, like this cool new ride that she got with help from Indiana Members Credit Union at a great low rate. And for when she's on the go, IMCU makes it easy for her to pay from anywhere thanks to their digital banking. Looks like Molly is really getting the max from her credit union.
It's very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Accessing healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me. Find it, try it, paint it, love it. 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 Find it, try it, paint it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Tonight's match is presented by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered. And by your Central Indiana Ford Dealers, a proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your local Ford dealer today for great deals on your favorite Ford vehicle. And here are the Central Indiana Ford Dealers starting lineups. Your Central Indiana Ford Dealers are a proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. So the main point of change here for Colorado Springs, Abraham Romero is making his first start of the season for James Chambers' squad. He's on loan from Columbus, 6 clean sheets in his career. Sporting director Stephen Hogan feels like they have 2 number ones that they can put in between the sticks, Brent.
Yeah, exciting moment for him. Obviously, he's trying to change the coach's mind and make him think there's only one guy between the sticks.
And for Indy, a lot of the same up front. There's going to be Chiza, and Jack Blake is going to be the one that really stirs the drink for this Indy 11 team, but they can really hurt you from anywhere on the pitch.
Yeah, strong defensive line, but Blake kind of makes them tick. You know, he's creating chances. He's putting dangerous balls in the box off set pieces. He's really kind of the magic sauce getting the guys going forward.
Aiden Quinn dons the captain's armband once again, and we are off. Opening day for the home boys in blue against the defending champs for the USL crown. This is going to be fun here today at Mike A. Carroll Stadium. Hunter Salt is a familiar face in between the goal for Indy 11, and Sean McCauley and the rest of the team were very, very pleased to have him back for another season.
Yeah, they are, and he'll be tested early, giving up a corner kick just 15, 20 seconds into the match.
And not typical. You see that. Obviously, the clearance ball down to the final third gives Colorado Springs their first corner kick of the day.
Looks like Indy's got a couple guys zonal right across the 6. Look for those guys to attack the ball and clear it.
It'll be Charlie Adams from Hendon, England, laying one in, and Hunter Salt, all 6, 7 of them, didn't have to jump too high for it. He hauls it in and will clear. Edward Chiza, the focal point of the offense, catching up with Sean McCauley earlier this week. He really feels like he has some dynamic people at front. James Chambers wasn't sure what the look was going to be for Indy 11, if they were going to have 2 guys up front or a true 9, and Chiz is going to fill that role.
Yeah, dangerous player, got a lot of pace, good on the ball. It's always good when the opposing coach doesn't know exactly what you're going to throw at him and you're a little unpredictable. So Sean McCauley's got a little bit of that going for him and the team with Indy.
Aiden Quinn, looping ball forward. That's Oliver Bernaeus, and he is in for Bruno Rendon, who was pulled from the starting lineup. We talked about him early in the program. He will start his day on the sidelines for the 11. Brings up a great time for the injury report, brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider of Indy 11. So Elliot Collier is probable. He was nursing a lower body injury, and Samaro and Romario Williams both out, and Rendon scratched as well.
Yeah, tough break for Rendon. Obviously getting the goal last week at Lexington. I'm sure he was looking to capitalize on some momentum there, but Bernaeus will fill in and be dangerous on the left side.
Bernaeus, the Swede, spent some time in USL League One. Another offseason signing for the Indy 11. A lot of new faces, but some familiar faces for both sides. For Colorado Springs, they have 2 players that are formerly of Indy 11 lore, Juan Tejada and Jonas Feldberg, along with Duke Lacroix, a former teammate of yours as well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. He was one of the early days, 2014, 2015 time frame with me. Great guy, great teammate, hard worker. Nothing but good things to say about Duke Lacroix.
Brad, some keys to the match today brought to us by Central Indiana Ford Dealers, proud sponsors of Indy 11 soccer.
Yeah, look, they have 3 games and they're averaging giving up 2 goals a game. So just improve a little bit defensively. It's hard to win another championship if you're averaging 2 goals given up. And then, avoid the slower start. It worked last year for them. They started 0-5 and still won the championship at the end of the year. But that's hard to repeat, right? So they're looking to try to pick up some points here on the road.
There's Akeem Ward from the back. And for Indy, it feels like another chance for them, obviously, to get a win, but how do you feel like they can do that the best?
I mean, really, rule of thumb in soccer, right, is try to get points on the road. Ties are kind of okay on the road, but when you're home, you want 3 points. And Indy 11's had a history of being very dominant at home. They had a great stretch last year. So the goal is 3 points tonight and nothing less. Second main point there is the set pieces, right? 3 out of the 4 goals they've had this year have come off as set pieces. So very dangerous. The service has been great. Guys are attacking the ball, putting in second chances. So look for that to be a crucial element tonight.
Indy has made money on their set pieces. The Brickyard Battalion is showing out tonight in the end zone there, and this has been a focal point for Sean McCauley. He said the support group for the Indy 11 has been nothing short of just impressive. Going back to last season on their playoff run, they're a big part of the reason why Indy was able to make that run to the playoffs and secure the 4th spot in the tournament. A nice nod there to the BYB, and Indy will try to give them a lot to cheer about today in their home opener. A great crowd on hand at the mic. Colorado Springs building forward now as Anthony Fontana switched inside to the box, kept alive briefly, and Murphy will head this one out, or rather kick this one out of play. It'll be a throw in for the Switchbacks.
Yeah, BYSB they've been a consistent top fan base in the league, you know, ever since Indy started in 2014. So amazing to see that grandstand full of cheering supporters, and always great when there's some background noise, background chants, and music and drums and all the things that come along with it.
Great run here from Malik Foster. Got some wheels heading into the final third. He's got Blake to his left and Chiza out in front, and that gets nicely parried away by Matt Mahoney, the left back. Benjamin Afemu returning into the starting lineup tonight with the injury to Hayden White. Lofted cross pitch to Aiden Stanley, wearing number 16 this season. Under Bernays and Jonas Feldberg, feeling like he's back at his former home. Well done on the defensive work, but it remains with Indy. There's Aiden Quinn. Down to Jack Blake, and quickly knocked away by Charlie Adams, but he was a little reckless in his approach there with Murphy, and that made down a yellow.
A dangerous tackle there by Colorado Springs. Luckily, Murphy kind of skipped out of there as the slide was coming in to avoid serious contact, serious injury.
Joshua Encarnacion, our head official, he wields the yellow there for Charlie Adams.
Yeah, defender just a touch late, right? Kind of comes through Murphy. Once again, good job by Murphy jumping out of there to not take the brunt of it. But dangerous opportunity for Indy here. Once again, we talked about set pieces, and 3 out of the 4 goals they've scored this year have come off set pieces. Dangerous opportunity here. Looks like Aiden Quinn and Jack Blake are over the ball.
Get the free kick, and while they get set up, let you know about our other officials today, Matthew Rodman and Carlos Morales Lastra, and our 4th official is Salvador Flores.
Indy's shown a couple nuances on set pieces already this year in the first couple games. We'll see if they just put it in the box or if they try something cheeky.
Works down to Foster, back to Murphy, working back to front. Bernays is all over the pitch, working that right side on the right wing. And there's a fast break opportunity for Colorado Springs. Quickly stymied. It was a nice cheeky play there from Anthony Fontana, joining the club this season after some time in Europe, but outdone there by the defense of Murphy. And Indy 11's back on the run on a break. Here's Chiza. Inside to Foster. Through to Blake. Blake outside the 18, just wide of the cage. But the first shot for Indy 11. Can't challenge Romero.
It's a good counterattack by Indy, right? Aiden Quinn chases it all the way back on top of his 18, works the ball down, gets it over to Blake. Blake's trying to curl it there, kind of right post. Doesn't quite get around it as good as he would like, but a great counterattack by Indy there.
Keystone Group, specializing in transformational developments, construction, management, and investments. Well, that was one point of emphasis for Sean McCauley this week, was against a team that you know can go up and down the pitch, maybe match that same energy, Brad.
Yeah, look, at times, and you saw this a little last week at Lexington, Indy kind of sat in, let Lexington possess the ball, and they were okay to bend as long as they didn't break. Obviously, they did end up giving the goal up later in the game and got out of there with a tie, but at times you're going to see Indy sit in and look for that counter and then be a little bit more direct, and that's okay. Coach McCauley has been pretty clear that they need to be able to be dynamic and play different ways and be dangerous in different circumstances.
Played forward. Blake keeps that one alive to Chiza. He's got Bernays out in front and quickly stymied there by Mahoney. Back to Akeem Ward. And Musa gets ahead on the ball. His first touch of the day. James Musa, another former Colorado Springs switchback. now turned Indy 11, included on the list there is Cam Lindley, who's out of the lineup tonight, or at least off the bench so far. Elvis Amo, Malik Foster, and Romario Williams had some time in the great state of Colorado. Counting at home, that makes 7 connections between these two clubs of former players. Here's Jonas Fjellbjørn. Good ball through the feet there of Murphy, but Malik Foster runs on it. Double 9 tries to get out of his own way, but it's flashed off of his defender out in front. That is Matt Real.
It's a great track back by Foster. You know, as a dangerous, speedy winger, your goal is to be dangerous on the attack, but you still need to do the dirty work, the grunt work in the back, and he did a great job there. You saw Murphy actually turn and clap and applaud his effort, which is always good to see, encouraging teammates there.
And for you as a player, what does that do for the rest of the group when you see hustle plays like that, especially on the road?
It's infectious. It's infectious, right? You see a guy that, once again, more of an attacking player. He can play both sides of the ball, obviously, but certainly plays a more attacking position. When you see him putting in the work defensively, it inspires the rest of the group.
Ward played back to 21 Fontana. Doing a lot of work at midfield so far. Over to Matt Real. Joined the Switchbacks from the Philadelphia Union last season. Indy trying to get a run on it. Oliver Bernays had some wheels, but it's kept alive for Colorado Springs in play.
Didn't quite work that time, but once again, looking for that counterattack when they win the ball on top of their defensive third. Indy's looking and getting their head up quick and seeing if they can catch Colorado Springs. A little spread, a little out of shape. I assume that's part of the game plan. They've done it a number of times here in the first 12 minutes.
James Chambers described this Indy 11 attacking group as disruptors, and they seem to be hell-bent on doing that early. And of course, the first 12 and a half, 15 minutes of every match, it's gonna be the feeling out period. But both teams seem really intent on some intensity here, as Joshua Encarnacion blows another whistle. A player down. That is Zach Zandy.
Yeah, it's been pretty even both sides. I agree, though. It's not kind of needlessly passing the ball around the back. Most of the possession has been with a purpose. Colorado Springs has a dangerous free kick here, obviously. So we'll see what they can do with that.
Yeah, this spells good for the Switchbacks. Community Health Sports Medicine is the official sports medicine provider of Indy 11. Exceptional care simply delivered. James Chambers discussing Zach Sandy's injury. And for this coaching staff to be all brought back on, you know, the challenge of winning a championship, the old adage goes, it's hard to win one, way harder to win two, right? They're not of that mentality. New season, they have 12 guys back from their championship roster. Joining this team as well, bolstered some new talent. This is a group that could make another deep run if they wanted to, but it's so early in the season to tell where everybody's at.
Yeah, Coach Chambers is really excited about not only his roster, but his coaching staff and support staff and really everyone involved.
Good kick on, and the wall does its job off of the attempt there. Still rattling around. Charlie Adams on the free kick, and Hunter Salt garners that off the rebound. So Indy does well to parry that one away.
Looks like Zandy's back in, number 10 for Colorado Springs. Picked up a little bit of a turf burn there, I think, on the tackle, but got some treatment. He's back on.
Zandy, one of the most intelligent players on the pitch, and anytime sporting director Stephen Elgin loves what he's able to bring to this group. Your Central Indiana Ford dealers are a proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your local Ford dealer today for great deals on your favorite Ford vehicle. Chisholm chasing down for Romero. His first start of the season. A lot of speed out of this group so far for the boys in blue. Zandy working through in the middle, disrupted by James Murphy, another offseason acquisition for the 11. Previously with DCFC, LAFC 2019, and on loan to Las Vegas, finding his way to the Brickyard. Jack Blake went sky high for that one. Bernays gets deflected. Blake seems unbothered by the tumble he just took, and Aiden Stanley will throw in.
Love the press there by Indy, winning the ball in the attacking half, trying to punish him quickly. You see Foster here get by the left back, dangerous ball in. Jack Blake goes for it, gets knocked off balance. Good opportunity.
Chisholm was looking for Aiden Stanley and just couldn't get the communication down. But it'll be deflected off of Colorado Springs, set up for the first corner kick of the evening for Indy 11.
See Hogan coming forward. He's got a goal off the corner against Miami.
Aiden Quinn into the box, headed away nicely by 23 Garvin Metasala for Colorado Springs. Show your Indy 11 pride. Get your exclusive IMCU Indy 11 debit card at any IMCU branch or online at imcu.com today. Another corner kick. So back-to-back set pieces for Indy 11. Into the 18th minute we go. Aiden Quinn into the box again. Nearly the same design as the last set piece. And Femu and Murphy will gather. Quinn trying to look for Stanley. Stanley says, I got you the next time you want to try that, brother. And this time it'll be a turnover, though. So early signs so far of progress for both sides, in your opinion, Brad, through the first 17 and a half?
Yeah, you see Indy picking up a little bit of steam here. Back-to-back corners, some set pieces. Fairly even. I think Indy 11 might have a little bit more in terms of dangerous opportunities in and around goal. Aiden Quinn's getting on the ball a little bit more. He is certainly a dangerous player that makes Indy 11 tick and finding attacking players and dangerous opportunities. So that's been a big difference and big change. And then you see Indy coming out and doing more of a high press. You didn't see as much of that last week in Lexington. They sat back a little bit more. I like seeing that, really bringing the energy against Colorado Springs.
Tactically, do you feel like Sean McCauley and the rest of the staff are pressing because they feel like their attacking players might have advantage over the backs, or is it just to give a different look?
You know, it's each coach has their different, philosophies. I can see last week maybe going in at Lexington thinking, hey, this team likes to possess it. They're dangerous. Let's sit back. When you sit back, you make the gaps between the lines, so between the defense and the midfield, smaller, right? You make the gaps left to right smaller. So when you sit back, it just makes it harder to play through, right? And it was successful for most of the game. Obviously, Lexington got one and tied it up, but nonetheless, good away point. But you can see that's been flipped here tonight. They're coming out, much higher energy, pressing Colorado Springs back line.
Good build from the 11. Aiden Stanley, at one time as a leader in assists at USLC last year. Malik Foster puts it home! The boys in blue! Cue the smoke early at the mic in the home opener.
What a strike with the left. That's not an easy ball to hit. So good.
Heavy left foot from Malik Foster off a heavy left feed from Aiden Stanley.
You can see the replay here. Yeah, Aiden Stanley, dangerous ball across. Gets a little skip, finds Foster on the back stick, and he hammers it home with the left. Near post, on the ground, low and hard. Really good finish, good technique.
Jack Blake may have gotten a touch on that as well as it made its way through.
You see the backflip there too. I don't know about you, Joey, but I can't do that. I'd get hurt severely.
I would never in my wildest dreams be able to do a backflip.
maybe somersault.
You had a backflip in your arsenal back in the day.
No, I don't
You
think
probably
so.
still got it. Well, the hue of red and blue smoke now engulfing the south end here for Indy.
It's a welcome distraction for Indy 11 for sure. Colorado Springs down here quick, though, possessing the ball on top of the defensive third.
Quincy Hirmo was bringing the ball up. Colorado Springs trying to answer immediately. Chiza, great one-on-one effort against Jonas Feldbjerg, and that'll be a foul on Feldbjerg.
Let's see, we're going. Indy's on the quick move again. Once again, foul. Chiza plays quick, or Chiza gets fouled. Ball plays quick out left to Aiden Stanley, and they look to try to punish him. Didn't see much. They pull it back, possessing a little bit here now, but you can see the intent for sure is to look and see what they can do quickly when they get the ball.
That ball played out. Keystone Group, specializing in transformational developments, construction, management, and investments. That was Malik Foster's first goal of the season, came to Indy 11 last August. And he has made a huge difference in the attack for Indy. You can see it there. He contributes his first goal of the season. And not a great angle for him to work with either. Romero really stretched out for that one, just tucked in the corner.
It's a tough. That ball was coming across the box quick, really quick. As it was happening live, I was contemplating thinking if he was going to contemplate taking a touch and trying to settle it, but he went with the first time finish. Clearly the right decision. Technique is good there too, right? Frequently, if you're not over the ball, that ball can sky on you, right? And you hit it over the bar. Great technique there, staying over the ball, head down, and gets rewarded.
Here's Akeem Ward running up, trying to scare Indy 11 into playing back on defense. Madasala well wide, but a chance nonetheless for Colorado Springs. We haven't seen many of those so far in the early goings.
Yeah, not a bad take from a center back stepping in. You know, no one was stepping immediately to him. Saw a little bit of space and had it go. Pretty clean strike, like you said, a little wide, but you know, decent kind of half chance there for Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs seeking its first win of the season today. Indy 11 is unbeaten through its first 2 matches. Colorado Springs has 2 draws and 1 loss, so 2 points in the season so far. Out of the Western Conference, and Indy out of the East, 4 points. Like you said, Brad, 3 points at home is of the utmost importance. The culture that Indy has built from the days that you were here as a player in the NASL to now, a few coaches gone through these parts too, but Sean McCauley has really embraced the love that the fans have for Indy in this city, and they've really bought into that as well and tried to make a serious run of things over the last couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sean McCauley keeps a high standard.
Good look for Zandy, and Hunter Salt was there. Easy one for him on the ground. Fans, a reminder to watch Wish TV, your local news source. Find them online at wishtv.com. And the wind has been blowing a little bit, so much so that somebody lost their tent.
We have a tent on the field.
And the security guards are trying with all their might, fighting some wind resistance to get that off the sideline. Tent down. All hands on deck.
Have you ever said that before in the game? We have a tent on the field?
No, I haven't. This is the first.
Good job by the referee crew stopping that, making sure, you know, danger was averted, and by the staff getting it off the field there pretty quick.
Got to get some sandbags on those legs.
You do.
So nearing the 26th minute, the first half of action here between Indy and Colorado Springs. And we're talking about building championship culture. Colorado Springs has done that. Large part of the great staff that James Chambers attributes a lot of the effort to. He's been in this club for 4 years now as the head coach. They've created a winning culture, and the fans have bought in that city as well. Fjellberg knocks that one off the shoulder there of Aiden Stanley. And this will be a corner kick for the Switchbacks.
Yeah, Coach Chambers, in our conversation with him this afternoon, was so complimentary of his team, complimentary of his staff. You can tell he's a player's coach. I'm sure the players love playing for him and putting in 110% each and every practice and each and every game. And you know, you don't just happen to win a championship, right? Like that's extremely hard to do. And they have the championship pedigree, obviously.
Charlie Adams working, trying to hug that near corner, and James Musa was there. Nicely placed off the head. That's out of play. Not another corner kick for Colorado Springs. Played through into the box. Good defense by Femu. That's deflected and over the top of the crossbar. The shot there from Matt Real. We're going to have another corner kick for Colorado Springs.
Yeah, Real does really good here. Once again, not an easy ball, kind of hopping at him. He hits it low and hard, but Indy puts their body on the line, deflects it out. Dangerous opportunity still here as Colorado Springs has another corner kick.
Really nice touch by Femu to just get in front of it.
Yeah, just he put his body on the line, and thank goodness, because it was struck really well and head not frame.
Fontana, after Adams elects not to try at the corner, ball's dribbled out, and Zandy tries for it. It's deflected and off the side of his boot there.
Yeah, Indy weathering a little bit of the storm with Colorado Springs pushing forward.
Johnson controls the power behind your mission. Played through. Here's Dylan. Haven't seen him yet. Benefemu got some contact. No call from Joshua Encarnacion. And Indy gets it on the way back in the fast break. Foster looping ball, and Romero will yield that one. Nearly another terrific fast break sequence for Indy 11.
Yeah, Foster's going to wish he had that one back. He was trying to switch the field to the left side, but just got under it and it floated. Easy grab for the goalie.
Your Central Indiana Ford dealers are a proud sponsor of Indy 11 soccer. Visit your local Ford dealer today for great deals on your favorite Ford vehicle. Musa played ahead for Aiden Stanley. In and around the outside channel. And Matt Real pushes back to Matt Mahoney. This group for Colorado Springs has had built out of the back, especially of former MLS players, a few strikers that Justin Dillon has rivaled over the couple of years in the USLC. He's really found his home in Colorado Springs. Musa heads that one out off the chance for Switchbacks. Kept alive by Zandy. Now to the outside channel, nearing the box is Zandy once again. Scoots that ball in. Nice heady play by Murphy, literally, and Fontana tries for another chance for the Switchbacks, and Matt Real gets called for the foul.
Colorado Springs continues to put pressure on the last 5 minutes, really since Indy got their goal. The ball's down here on this end, mainly. Some dangerous opportunities. Indy's done a good job not letting them get really clean looks. But certainly Colorado Springs has had the better of the play here the last 5-6 minutes.
Jizza with some contact there with Matt Mahoney. Stanley keeps that one alive in the midfield for Bernays. And Foster can't catch up to that one in time. Another point of emphasis for Sean McCauley was the ability for Aiden Stanley to kind of play anywhere on the pitch, because you have really reliable holding midfielders with Aiden Quinn, a legacy Indy 11 player, and now James Murphy to kind of bolster the middle there as well.
Yeah, when you have 2 6s or 2 holding mids, just like Indy's playing with Quinn and Murphy, it allows the outside backs a lot more freedom, a lot more flexibility. They can get forward kind of at will, because they know they have the 2 center backs, the 2 holding mids, and they got decent numbers back, so it gives them a lot of freedom.
Here's Jonas Fjellberg. Stanley Nice work and placement of the knee. Just smacked himself in the head. He was so pumped up. Be another corner kick for Colorado Springs. When you made a great play, what was your move? Did you give yourself a nice slap?
No, I think I slapped a teammate once out of excitement. Goldsmith, I think it was Goldsmith. He scored a big goal at Edmonton. I think I slapped him.
Listen,
my
Brad,
apologies.
if we get a crazy moment in here, you can do whatever you need to. I'll do anything for my teammates.
I think it was usually a yell, just a heck yeah type of moment, right? Maybe
a nice let's go.
Maybe
Crispy.
Throw a fist, yeah.
Charlie Adams lays the left boot. Looping ball way past the cage. Hunter Salt's there. And you love the energy out of the BYB today. I mean, Hunter Salt has made 2 rudimentary catches there for corner kicks and 1 save that was a dribbler, and the Brickyard Battalion is giving him everything they've got on the cheers.
Showing him the appreciation he deserves, you know?
Well, being on loan from Portland, it wasn't so sure that he was going to be here for a long time. But, man, it's a welcome sign that he came back to Indy, has been able to rock it so far for another year in 2025.
Absolutely.
There's Aiden Stanley again. There's shades of the goal setup that we saw earlier. So far, the rain has held off, just a few drizzles, as there's some contact there with Musa and Justin Dillon. All 6'5" of them near center circle. And Joshua Encarnacion greeting possession there for Colorado Springs. Soccer Saturday presented by Indy 11. Join every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. If you didn't catch it from earlier today, it'll be on all your podcast feeds, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. You can hear Brad's interview with Greg Rakestraw. And you did a great job, by the way, previewing the match tonight.
Thank you. We miss Rake here, but having a lot of fun with you, Joey. Appreciate you welcoming me to the booth.
Brother. Yeah, no doubt. Crushing it.
Thinking back to your comment about Portland and Salt and so forth, obviously Coach McCauley has a history in Portland. I was with him briefly in 2013 on kind of the second team as he was assisting and kind of leading the reserve team. Great atmosphere, great organization out there in Portland, the Portland Timbers, and obviously Coach McCauley's got some relationships that he can lean on and make sure to get Salt back here again in the 2025 season.
The Alaskan-born. Here's a great run for Indy 11. And offside. Too good to be true for the boys in blue.
I think that was the right call, but it was close. It was really close, and you almost saw something you never see, which is a 4-on-0. Yeah, let's see how close this is. A great run by Bernaeus up the middle. So dangerous. Oh, that was close. That was very close.
I don't know how you see that in real time if you're on the sideline there.
Especially when guys are running in opposite directions.
Right.
It's hard enough when guys are running in the same direction, but they run in opposite directions, and it makes it even harder.
Yeah, I don't know how if you're Matthew Rodman, you catch up like that. Here's Akeem Ward to Fjellberg. Colorado Springs has spent more time in possession in the attacking third here of Indy in the latter part of this half. Can they pounce on that opportunity and even the score? A little contact there with Blake. There's Adams. Nice move inside the box. Adams back towards the 6. Zandy, a good chance. Hunter Salt dives on it before any other advances were taken. And it looks like Adams is down just inside the corner of the box there.
Vandy almost pulled off an extremely cheeky touch there. I think it was Quinn maybe who kind of came in late to obstruct the shot. Trainer's coming on to check on Adams. You see the play here. Great move by Adams as he takes it to the right. He fires across off low and hard. kind of a weird bounce off of Quinn's back from Musa, but that's the touch I was talking about there from Vandy. Almost pulls it off. Quinn does a great job covering his center back.
The players will get a much needed and impromptu water break. Cool evening tonight in the high 60s and dropping with a light breeze out of the west. You know, for James Chambers, this might be a welcome sign because his team gets to reset for the last 10+ minutes here. What do you feel like the message for both sides is? You see Colorado Springs is huddling a little bit more than Indy 11, who is a little bit more scattered.
Yeah, if you're Indy right now and Coach McCauley, you're kind of hoping that you get into halftime up 1-0. Really, you know, that'd be a good, successful first half. As we discussed, Colorado Springs has been pushing here as of late. If they can hold them scoreless and get into the halftime up, that's a successful first half. So hopefully Adams is okay and can continue here for Colorado Springs.
Adams, the Hendon, England-born player. 1,200 minutes with Las Vegas Lights before he came over to Colorado Springs. Developed in the Youth Academy of Brentford FC. And so Indy will try to compound on its lead at advantage briefly.
Looks like he'll be okay. He's certainly got a little limp, but I think he's going to try to run it off here.
Musa was eyeing Bernays long. You know, Bernays and Aiden Stanley offer a different type of look for Indy 11. Both really shifty and fast players, and they seem to together just kind of be tempting the back line of Colorado Springs a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Both dynamic players. They both have pace, both lefties. It's not looking good for Adams.
Yeah, Charlie Adams looks like he's going to have to take his leave, which would put Marco Micheletto into the lineup. So 2 of the stars from a season ago for Colorado Springs not in the starting lineup tonight. That's Juan Tejada and Yosuke Hanya. We will get to see Micheletto, the Italian-born player.
From his perspective, from Marco's perspective, excuse me, jump in. It's really nice to get 8, 9 minutes, 10 minutes in the first half, so you're coming in the second half up to speed and warm and ready to go. It's better that way than if Adams continued through half, and now Marco's coming in kind of cold in the second half. So obviously you don't ever want to lose a guy, and Stinks Adams can't continue, but Marco having the ability to kind of get warm here the last 7, 8, 9 minutes to close out the first half is good for him.
This gets you a taste of what's to come before Marco goes in. Dylan along the sideline, out of play, and will remain with Switchbacks FC. Johnson controls the power behind your mission.
We'll see if it's just a straight swap here positionally, or if anything else is going to shift around with the first half sub here.
You might get like for like if you put Micheletto in there. But James Chambers had let us know, too, there's so many guys that can be an engine for this offense no matter when they come on or where they play, quite frankly. Here's Akeem Ward doing battle there with Bernays. That's another part of the tactics for James Chambers, was winning one-on-one battles in the back. Here's Malik Foster. Feeling hot after the goal earlier today. Inside to Jack Blake. Good movement from the 11. And Murphy, the knee touch off to Aiden Quinn.
The knee pass. Respect that so much out of Murphy there.
Doesn't look easy in real time.
It's not something you practice, but if you can pull it off in real time in a game successfully, it was great.
It's the Brad Ring nod of appreciation for the knee touch.
I was always a fan of the big flying ninja kicks, you know.
Is that so?
Yeah. Whenever I had the opportunity.
Taking flight, look out below. Up to Feldberg. Musa No call. Great defensive play.
Great tackle. Moose has been strong. I mean, really this whole season here so far, but certainly here in the first half.
Moose to Aiden Quinn. Colorado Springs pressing a little bit with Marco Micheletto and some fresh legs on the pitch for Switchbacks, but they get a foul. Garvin Medesala. McGowan Insurance Group and Auto Owners Insurance have teamed up to make tailored insurance policies for your family. Looping ball up to Malik Foster. Defended by Real. Foster encroaching on that end line. A one-touch there from Jack Blake just to try to move it forward more. Back out to Aiden Quinn and Aiden Stanley. Just trying to find the head there of Jack Blake. Here's Benefemu. Romero the save. Blake kept it alive briefly, and Sandy knocked it away for the moment. And Murphy, little head-on-head contact there with Micheletto. And that'll be back to Colorado Springs.
Great sequence there by Indy. A couple dangerous chances. Little touch wide. Once again, kind of smashing it straight across the mouth of the goal. Jack Blake tries kind of a half bicycle kick there. Unlucky not to get more power on it, but good pressure by Indy.
The USL on CBS kicks off April 6th with two former USL Championship title winners battling it out. Join us Sunday, April 6th as undefeated San Antonio FC takes on Western Conference rival Phoenix Rising FC at 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Back heel flip. Murphy was there again.
Murphy's one of those guys in that holding mid role where it's kind of an unheralded position, right? He does a lot of the dirty work, nothing too fancy, but gets the job done, super effective.
Beg your pardon, actually, that was Pat Hogan. But Murphy will take the compliment, no doubt. Out in front, though, Colorado Springs answers the bell. Marco Micheletto on fresh legs, not 5 minutes into his campaign today, knocks home his first goal of the season. And we are knotted up at the mic.
Opportunistic take here from Micheletto. He does really, really well with it. Good first touch to trap it. Left foot, hits it hard, hits it on frame. Rewarded with it there. Quick impact from him.
Well done from the Italian-born player. Last year was on a similar Cinderella-type run team with New Mexico United there for some time. 2,000 minutes. Just one goal a season ago and 4 assists. And he gets his first goal of the 2025 campaign off the bench. Well done. Now that kind of changes the temperature here late in this first half. You were just talking about not 10 minutes ago about how impactful it would be for Indy 11 to have the lead going into the break. And now you let one up with 2+ minutes remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, a little deflating if you're Indy, but still some time left. Coach Chambers has to feel pretty good about his sub decision there, though.
No doubt. There's Jack Blake. Nifty touch on the heel. There's Aiden Quinn. Energy has started to change for Colorado Springs as well. That will ignite the rest of the group when you get somebody off the bench scoring a goal. Micheletto, the young player, and sporting director Stephen Hogan loves his vision on the ball and his technical ability. A welcome sign for the Switchbacks this year. Pat Hogan holds off, and Hunter Salt will work back to front with Indy 11. Aiden Quinn from the midfield. Great ball down to Malik Foster. Cross pitch. Foster inside. Romero is there. He had Bernays bearing down on the 6.
Yeah, you nailed it. Great long ball from Aiden Quinn over to Foster. Foster takes a good touch forward, puts in a pretty dangerous ball. Romero does good with it, but still, nonetheless, a good kind of direct break there from Indy.
Indy 11 Soccer is sponsored by Dormakaba, for every place that matters. Referees have added 5 minutes of stoppage time to the end of the first half. Don't go anywhere. At the end of the first half, we'll hear from head coach of the Indy 11, Sean McCauley. And at halftime, we'll look at news and notes around the United Soccer League Championship, and also a piece on the new commentators in the booth this year. Forwarding ball from Foster to Chiza doesn't go, and be another fast break undone for Indy 11.
The ball didn't quite work out there from Foster, but I do like the idea of it, right? An earlier cross in behind the defenders before they have the opportunity to get back and get set up. So once again, didn't quite work out there, but I like the idea.
Well, it's got to certainly take the edge off a little bit if you're Romero in goal, now seeing your team equalize.
Absolutely.
Because you get into a spot sometimes with these goalkeepers where if you feel like your defense isn't holding up, sometimes the momentum can continue to be on the side of your opponent.
For sure. I couldn't agree more. And then you kind of think back to last game, right? They went down against Sac Republic. They fought back at the end, obviously, like we talked about in the open, to tie it. But you go down 1-0 here tonight, and you kind of think, shoot, again, right? We're going to be playing from behind most of the game, and we'll need a late comeback. So really big for Colorado Springs to get that goal before half to tie it up. We'll see how the next couple minutes here plays out, but certainly a bright sign there for Colorado Springs.
Blake had a great try there to get that down to Aiden Stanley. Nicoletto takes over at center circle. Nice tackle by Aiden Quinn. Draw that ball free. Cleared away briefly there by Failbeard. Famu will collect. You mentioned the 2 penalty kick goals. First time in USL Championship history that one player scored 2 penalty kick goals since 2003.
Yeah, kind of interesting too. Dylan took both. You know, at times I think there's a train of thought, right? If you make the first one, it's hard to step up. Maybe the goalie knows where you're going. He knows your favorite spot. Do you switch the shooter? Obviously wasn't the case last week with Dylan bearing both.
2 or so minutes left in the first half, and Colorado Springs gets another corner kick from Fontana. Looped in, Musa heads that one away, and Real
Handball.
won't get a chance because there was a handball.
The cardinal sin on corner kicks is to not get it over the first guy, right? Not get it over the near post guy. And they've done that a couple times. On that one specifically, good clearance by Musa.
And Hogan will begin this possession for Indy 11. Well, as Malik Foster netting a goal home within the first 20 minutes, Colorado Springs answers in the 43rd. Can Indy compound on their efforts here in the first half? Bernaeus looped into the box. Hogan keeps that alive with Foster. Foster, nifty ball in, but deflected nicely by Real. Foster weaving through defenders. A lot of contact from Real again. No call from Joshua Encarnacion. Let a few go today for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think maybe that was one, but the refs had a good first half, to be quite honest. Pretty even on both sides. It's been physical, but nothing dirty. He's done a good job.
You often like to see let the boys play a little bit. Right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, adjustments and thoughts going into the second half for both sides here, Brad. What comes to mind?
I think Indy's been dangerous. You know, we talked about Foster a number of times on the break. We talked about Bernaeus coming down on the left side.
Another chance for Colorado Springs off the air. That's off the crossbar. Jonas Feldberg, another chance, and Aiden Quinn deflects it away. And that would be the throw-in if the officials let play go on, but they are going to end the first half with a very nervy moment for Indy 11 there inside the 18.
Very dangerous opportunity here. I mean, if Colorado Springs nets this, that's a dream ending of the first half. Hits the crossbar, bounces off, tries his best to redirect it back on, but good block by Indy.
And a heck of an effort for Indy 11 with Malik Foster at goal. Colorado Springs answering. We're joined now by the head coach of Indy 11, Sean McCauley. Coach, thanks for joining us. What did you think of your team's performance in that first half?
We had some moments that were pretty good. We were good on the counter-attack. Probably didn't keep the ball well enough in the middle third. And then obviously conceded a goal late in the first half, which is difficult, you know, because we've got to try and now lift the lads to get ready for the second half.
Yeah. What kind of adjustments, Coach, are you thinking for the second half?
I don't know. You know, it's an interesting one because I'm really successful playing down the left-hand side with Aidan Stanley and Ollie, but then we're a bit weak defensively down the right-hand side because we seem to be unbalanced down that side. So I might look to change to a back three, but I think I'll see how the players are when I get inside because there might be a few injuries.
Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Well, Sean McCauley's team got out early for the home opener to give the Brickyard Battalion some time to cue the smoke. Colorado Springs answered in double the amount of time. We've got ourselves a ball game here at the mic for the home opener for the Indy 11. Good looks so far from both sides. Colorado Springs, the reigning champs, seeking their first win of the season. Indy 11 trying to remain unbeaten. 1-1 at the half.
I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, but sometimes I get a little stressed because I'm not for sure what's going to happen down the road. I was at the cancer unit, and when I come out from seeing the doctor, I said something about needing some help with all the paperwork. They gave me a name and a phone number. Her name is Molly. She works over at Community. She tells me, stop worrying, let me take care of it. She is my angel.
Stand by me.
Every place has a purpose, and the people who inhabit those places have their own reasons for being there. The last thing on their minds should be concerns about the safety of the places they are in. When it comes to security and safety for all the places that matter, Dormakaba offers a seamless flow of integrated solutions that allow people to move securely about their daily lives. Because the places that matter to you matter to us.
Halftime here at Mike A. Carroll Stadium, Indy 11 and Colorado Springs Switchbacks. The early goings of the USL Championship season at the break. We welcome you back into the mic, and if you weren't watching in the beginning and saw a new face in the booth, Brad Ring, one of the first players for Indy 11 to ever have 100 appearances, now making his broadcasting debut. So good to be with you here, brother.
Thank you so much. I had 5 good years as a player, and looking forward to a good one here in the broadcast booth with you.
First year, best year so far. If you hadn't seen it already, there was a social media post garnering and welcoming our 2 new commentators, because Brad is going to be joined by Dan Capsalis, and Greg Rakestraw is on that video. He's going to tell you more about our new members of our crew. So we'll throw you to that here now.
11 years of the Indy 11, Brad Hodder and myself were the broadcast team. With Brad moving on from the team at the end of last year, we just simply had to make a change in terms of bringing a new broadcaster. But we felt we couldn't do that with just one person. So now I will have 2 different partners that I will work with during the course of the season. So the first person that probably doesn't need introduction to the Indy 11 audience is club legend Brad Ring.
I thought this was a great way to get back involved with the club. I still wear the crest coaching for Indy 11 Academy, which is always fun. Obviously a lot of fond memories playing for Indy 11. So a unique opportunity to stay involved with the team in a different capacity. Still be there at the mic to witness game days and hear the BYB and the awesome supporters that Indy 11 has. So really excited for the 2025 season.
The other person is Dan Capsalis, and the Capsalis family was soccer in Indianapolis before soccer was cool. Dan for many years was a high school coach. Dan these days runs the Zionsville Youth Soccer Academy system, and Danny and I have been doing soccer games together dating back to the previous millennium. The first time that we did games together was 1997. I think fans are going to love both voices and perspectives of Brad and Dan rotating throughout the course of the season.
Brad and Dan, welcome additions to the booth for the Indy 11. Halftime rolls on. USL News and Notes coming up next here from Indianapolis.
Tiptoed the line. Wilson! Brilliant! And he has been on fire at Tampa Bay! Cross forward, put down by Gagi! The hero! Let's
go! We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
And it's a tremendous finish! San Antonio FC!
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
Covering the biggest story in USL and US soccer this week, Paul McDonough sits down with Devin.
Division One is coming. Promotion and relegation just right around the corner. What sort of expansion are we going to see nationwide, and sustainability? That is the biggest buzzword I took away from coming out of this interview with President Paul McDonough. He takes a deep dive, no questions off the table in our half hour together.
The USL Championship leads the way for American soccer. So much fun to be had and all the pedigree in action. We got a great one going here at halftime between Indy 11 and Colorado Springs. Let's take a look at what's going on around the league and what has been a historic season to start the year so far. 25 international call-ups, from the Championship or League One. Caught up during break. Oakland, welcome to record crowd in the Coliseum, no less. Man, that must have been awesome. And promotion relegation, a new wrinkle into American soccer, started in 2027, 2028. There will be 3 divisions: USL Division 1, USL Championship, and USL League One. And now, Brad, I'm curious around your thoughts around promotion relegation. Feels like American soccer fans have been calling for this forever. The USL finally stepped up and made it happen.
Yeah, it's huge. Most leagues have it, especially over in Europe. Soccer purists certainly believe that that's the way that it should be, and it'll bring another level of excitement to the USL, which will be really fun to follow here in a couple seasons.
First sports league in the U.S. to adopt the global model. Huge and bold move for the growth of soccer in the United States. Let's take a look at scores from around the league and standings. We'll start there. Detroit City FC at 8 points. Louisville City actually got the win over Detroit City, so they'll move up in their points as well. Loudoun's off to a great start this season as well, Brad.
Yeah, you can see the top of the table there. Detroit, Louisville, Loudoun picking up some good points. Trevor James, old Indy 11 coach, is part of Detroit City. And you can see Indy not too far behind there.
It has been an interesting Eastern Conference over the last few years. A whole lot of parity. You think about the Lou City and Charlestons of the world at nearing the top almost every season. San Antonio has also been off to a hot start. The West last season was, it was murderer's row sometimes for opposing conference foes. But this season you get a little bit more parity again. Lexington also joining the conference as a Western Conference member in their first season in the USLC.
Yeah, Lexington's been strong. They played us real tough last week, obviously, in terms of that game, Lexington versus Indy. A lot of parity, both in the East and the West, really.
Speaking of parity, we got a whole lot of it here today so far. Indy jumped out early. Colorado Springs answered. When we come back, second half with all the answers on the way back here on ESPN Plus and MyIndyTV.
The main part of my job is definitely listening. People deserve transparency. I don't want the financial part to be something that stops or hinders a patient from having the health care that they need. I try to treat each person like they're my mom or my grandmother, my daughter, my husband. I want them to know that they're not just another phone call for us. And it's very rewarding to know that I can provide peace of mind.
This is Paul. He loves running, music, and DIY home projects. In fact, he's remodeling his kitchen thanks to a home equity line of credit from Indiana Members Credit Union. They connected him with a loan officer, got him approved at a great low rate, and made it easy for him to make his monthly payment from anywhere thanks to IMCU's digital banking. Looks like Paul can do it all with a little help from IMCU.
Our team at Security Federal Savings Bank welcomes you to our newest location, our West Carmel branch on Michigan Road, here to serve you. All the services you expect from a premier bank, personal and business banking, wealth management, trust services, and much more. The Security Federal Savings Bank branch team offers the expertise and knowledge you want and expect. Security Federal Savings Bank, proud of our team and our newest West Carmel location.
Tonight's match is presented by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered. And by your Central Indiana Ford dealers, a proud sponsor of Indy 11 soccer. Visit your local Ford dealer today for great deals on your favorite Ford vehicle. Back at the mic for second half action between Indy 11 and Colorado Springs. Switchbacks jumped in to equalize. Take the boys in blue with you wherever you go. Get the Indy 11 app for Apple or Android. Alongside Indy 11 great Brad Ring, Joey Lindstrom with you. We are set for second half action. The boys in blue headed left to right on your screen towards the Brickyard Battalion, with Romero in goal for the Switchbacks. And the Switchbacks in white, headed right to left Or the opposite end. Here at Carroll Stadium, a beautiful night for soccer. The rain has held off mercifully. Just a light drizzle out from the west. So, Brad, we ended the first half thinking about some adjustments that both teams should make before Colorado Springs gave Indy a little bit of a nervous breakdown there towards the end. And curious now what adjustments you feel like the coaches have implored to their team coming out for the second half.
Yeah, we'll see what Coach McCauley kind of brewed up here for the second half. I think Indy has had some success down the flanks, right? Foster on the right, Aiden on the left. It's been dangerous. They've created a lot of chances. Now, a lot of those are off crosses, right? So not necessarily clever, cheeky work up the middle, leading to great opportunities, but nonetheless putting the ball in dangerous places in that first half. So I think we'll look to see a little bit more of that from Indy. And then in terms of Colorado Springs, they had a great close to the half, right? It was kind of even the first 15-ish minutes. Indy gets the goal. They're all over them for a little bit, but then it flips back to Colorado Springs. So we'll see if they can keep that momentum up here in the second.
Chance generated there on the outside by Akeem Ward. And off the right foot, and Hunter Salt ready for it. Indy 11 Soccer is sponsored by Dormakaba, for every place that matters. How about the impact that Marco Micheletto had coming in for the injured Charlie Adams and immediately making an impact, and 5 minutes into his substitution gets a goal for Colorado Springs.
Yeah, dream opportunity for him coming in. Ball comes to him inside the box. He takes it really well and levels things here at the mic. We'll see if he can continue that productivity here in the second half.
Played down for Bernays. Scooted through for Aiden Stanley, and Zandy was there. Heady play by Zandy.
It's been a good combination down the left flank for Indy. Bernays has been dangerous. Aiden Stanley's been dangerous. They seem to kind of take turns flying down that left side.
This will be a corner kick for the 11, first of the second half.
11 corner.
Jack Blake taking that out. Actually stay in the outside channel. Blake, entry. Off the head there of Real. Center backs for Colorado Springs have really done a lot of work here in this game today. A lot of penetration from the attacking group of the 11.
Yeah, they've dealt with crosses specifically pretty well. Even the goal that Indy had, it was a kind of deflected cross that found its way to Foster on the far post, but Indy's been putting in a lot of balls, a lot of dangerous balls, and done well.
Good look on it for Chizza off the bar. That pesky right post. Brickyard Battalion, a chorus of oohs and ahs, almost the lead for Indy.
We almost cursed the center backs there. This is a real dangerous ball by Bernays in behind. Unfortunate for Chizza. Great attempt with the right foot.
Might get another chance here if he wants it. Couldn't have the one touch. Ball's too hot coming in.
It's a good look by Chizza. Just on separate pages there with Jack Blake, who was kind of did a dummy, and Chizza was looking for him to continue that run. He didn't, but nonetheless, dangerous opportunity here with the corner kick.
Play back for Aiden Quinn. And another opportunity here in the corner kick for Fjellberg. Twice in a row, obviously, Indy has shown some conservative option there from the corner instead of trying to loop this ball in. Any rhyme or reason for it in your mind?
They've shown that most of the season. I know the season's still young, but third game, they've played most corner kicks short. They're just looking for a better angle on it. They seem to have a couple different variations and reads, right, where the initial guy can cross it, the second guy can cross it. You've seen him go back to Aiden Quinn a couple times, who has then crossed it in. Now you've seen a couple crosses from, through balls from Aiden to the guys closer to the corner.
There's Malik Foster trying to find the right foot of Chiza. Stuck it out, couldn't get it on the touch. Foster once again in the outside channel to Afemu. And he briefly loses that one-on-one battle with Real. Show your Indy 11 pride and get your exclusive IMCU Indy 11 debit card at any IMCU branch or online at imcu.com today. Afemu inside to Foster, had wheels on, and Zach Zandy, he just seems to be all over the place.
It's a bright start to the second half from Indy. Foster getting in dangerous positions on the right flank. Unlucky not to get that one past Andy, but you're right, he's been all over the place for Colorado Springs.
Metasala had a clear on that one briefly. There's Aiden Quinn. Good ball played forward. Piermont deflected that one away. Here's Afemu to Aiden Quinn again. Good ball in and cleared once more. High over the Indy 11 bench. Into the crowd near our press box. Fortunately, don't get to take the ball home for the kiddos.
That's one thing baseball's got on soccer, you know.
If there's one thing on the list.
That's all I'll give them. That's all I'll give them.
You get opening day on Thursday. You get the home opener here in Indy. Indianapolis Indians season started just down at Victory Field down the street. Good run at this for Anthony Fontana. He'll pull back out to Harma. Tough contact there with Murphy. And Fontana gains the foul. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered. A light misting rain starting to descend upon the mic. Can't see it on camera, but the glow is pretty exceptional underneath the lights here at Carroll Stadium. Did you bring your umbrella?
I did not.
I don't know if we'll need it or not here underneath the tent.
We'll say as a player, you don't mind it. It kind of cools things down a little bit. The ball will move a little bit faster.
And that might help on the turf too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Turf naturally kind of slows the ball down a little bit. So a lightly wet turf is actually kind of nice. The ball pings around a little bit quicker.
That's James Murphy getting a yellow card. The contact there with Micheletto.
Yeah, warranted card there, to be honest. Murphy comes in a little bit late.
So free kick here for Colorado Springs, their first set piece of this half. Nearly 10 minutes in.
Indy's had a pretty good start to the half, but opportunity here, dangerous ball, free kick. Looks like he's going to whip it into the box and try to find one of their big center backs. Crash in the back post.
Micheletto, wow, he put everything into that free kick. Had the angle just maybe a foot high.
He proved me wrong. He said, I'm not a safe player. I'm going for it. I like it. He almost caught Solt off guard there.
A little bit of gusto out of the Italian there.
The rain does not seem to be bothering the BYB. I'll say that.
They are pretty unflappable, regardless of weather conditions. It's early in the season, so they've been eager to get out here and enjoy it. Gusts of wind out of the west entering into our press box too. Make sure the paper doesn't fly there. Experience comfort in downtown Indianapolis. Hyatt Place and Hyatt House, downtown Indianapolis. There's Aiden Stanley in the outside channel. Works back to Aiden Quinn at center circle. Aiden Quinn, one of the Iron Men for this Indy 11 team. Spent some time away, but since he's been back, he has been a mainstay in the lineup for Sean McCauley's team. Up to Bernays. Metasala was there, but Romero cleans up just outside the 6. Looks like Metasala is going to take a leave here and just book some time to take a rest. While he does that, we'll tell you about Select. Proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Not sure what got Metasala tangled up there in that sequence. Regardless, good time to ask Brad. 10 minutes gone in this first half. You started to mention that Indy has felt like it's felt like Indy has controlled a little bit more of the pace, but Colorado Springs seems to be answering every question that Indy's asking as far as can they take the pressure we're instilling, and they've answered the bell.
Yeah, they really have. It's been a pretty even game the first 56 minutes here. Each team kind of taking turns, throwing everything at the other, and I think Indy started this second half really well. A couple chances, a couple opportunities. Colorado Springs, kind of returns the favor, and it's kind of a fight back and forth.
Metasala, previously of the Canadian Premier League, 112 appearances for Forge FC. For 8,000 minutes of playing time, 2 league championships in 2022 and 2023. He is back on his feet, and we are ready to go to resume play. Now, Romero hasn't been challenged too many times, just one save to his name so far. But he's been ever-present and communicative back there in between the pipes.
Yeah, as a goalie, that's certainly not your main job. The main job's not with the ball going in the net, but close second is to keep your defenders organized, right? And the best way to do that is through verbal communication, and then that trickles forward, right? If the goalkeeper keeps their center backs and defenders organized, cleared away there. But if the goalkeeper can keep the defenders organized, the defenders then keep the midfielders organized, right? And it trickles through. But it really all starts in the back.
And Stanley to throw in. Keep Ward trying to clear. Indy 11 building for a chance here. Denny Companies tearing down the past so you can build the future. Blake Foster, good at midfield there. Crossing the prime meridian. Pat Hogan, the right center back, assuming starting duties this season. Working up to Aiden Stanley, works up to Oliver Bernays. Crossing, and Romero was there. Bernays took a tumble, and that's going to be a yellow card, the second of the day for Colorado Springs, this time on Akeem Ward. Set up a free kick here for Indy.
Yeah, Ward just came in a bit late there. See the replay, good combo play down the left side. Bernays is going to look to cross it here. Ward comes across and catches his foul through. Might not have looked like much, but I'll tell you that hurts.
Yeah, that can't feel good. Bernays of Knoxville, Tennessee. Spent some time playing overseas in Sweden. And to Vuckers in the Swedish third tier, 9 goals, including 4 game winners in his time over with the Swedes. Trying to find the through ball. Micheletto was there to clear. Got the line for Foster on the header, and Romero climbs the ladder to retrieve that one.
Looks like Coach Chambers is bringing in a trio here for Colorado Springs. He's looking to change the game up a bit.
It's going to be Yosuke Hanya and Duke Lacroix, former Indy 11 player and teammate of our very own Brad Ring, as well as Herbert Ensley. Just outside the box, Fjellberg. Good look out in front. That ball's alive. One more. Salt maybe got a piece of it. Could have been a Famu. Regardless, Indy 11 dodges a bullet. Parma, the shot on goal, leading to the corner kick for Colorado Springs. They'd much rather have one netted in the 61st.
Yeah, nervy moment there for Indy. Lucky to get out of there with just a corner kick given up.
Kurima will set up with Micheletto. Go, good look inside, and Micheletto, a brace. It's as if nobody saw it from the 11, and Salt couldn't get eyes either. 22's got 2, and Springs adds their second.
Such a dangerous ball across. See the replay here. Short corner. Foster is a little late to come over, so they have a 2v1 for a second. Ball's in. It's a kind of a cross shot, kind of a combo, right? It's tough as a goalie. You want to come out and make a play. Bunch of guys running across you. Great goal there from Colorado Springs. And it's the sub. It's the sub again. Making quite an impact since coming on there at the end of the first half.
Just 1 goal a season ago, 2 today. His first brace in the USLC for Micheletto. And the Switchbacks can never count these guys out. Just like last season, they would claw back into games en route to their dominant run in the USLC playoffs. And now they've got 3 fresh substitutions. Staffing agencies find jobs. We build futures. The Morales Group.
One of the guys that just came on for Colorado Springs, Herbert Endley, went to Indiana University. Super successful program down there in Bloomington under Todd Yeagley, and had a lot of success in college. He's carved out a good pro career here and is looking to make an impact coming on here in the 61st, 62nd minute for Colorado Springs.
Underlay. Appreciate that. I think I said Ensley. Read his name too fast. Another fast break, perhaps, for Colorado Springs. Ward on the run. Good look out front for Dillon. Salt's there, but it trickles in. The Switchbacks add a trio of goals from their talented Justin Dillon this time. A brace last week, both of the penalty kick variety. This time, he gets some scrap off the feed there from Duke Lacroix.
Yeah, fortuitous bounce there for Colorado. Duke Lacroix takes a shot from distance, kind of takes a ricochet off the Indy back line and falls right to Dillon, who does a fantastic job there. One-on-one opportunity with a cheeky little chip over the goalkeeper who came out.
Justin Dillon, his second team in the USL Championship. Played for San Antonio, 83 appearances. Had a USL Championship trophy there, Players Shield 2022. Champion last season after coming to Colorado Springs midway through the year. Malik Foster trying to answer for Indy 11, running right into Matt Real. Elvis Amo is getting ready to check in for Indy.
Love this from Foster. He has some space, and he said, you know what, I'm going right at you. Puts it between his legs, earns the foul. It could have been a yellow card potentially, but sets Indy up for a dangerous free kick here. Looks like Jack Blake's on top of it.
You just got to get some semblance of getting back into this thing if you're Indy 11. And Bernays will sub out, so that puts Amo at the wing. A heck of an effort from Oliver Bernays in his first start of the season.
Yeah, he did great. Great 65 minutes for Bernays. Very dangerous, good in possession, pretty good defensively.
Jack Blake, Romero putting all kinds of contact in the air. It looks like with Pat Hogan, even the goal shifted from Benefemu. So let's go back to Colorado Springs, obviously. Romero is down.
Yeah, didn't get a clean look at that live. A lot of action in front of goal. Romero came out brave and strong, and is paying the price for it. Let's see this here. Blake puts in a pretty dangerous ball, maybe a little too close to the goalie, but you see two runners for Indy crashing, and yeah, quite a collision there. You're right, it was Hogan.
Yeah, right in the midsection there.
Looks like they're both okay.
If you're looking for the best deal in town, check out the all-new Pabst Blue Ribbon deck. Next time you're at Carroll Stadium, enjoy $3 PBRs all game long. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com or the Indy 11 box office day of game. Pabst Blue Ribbon, because you deserve a blue ribbon.
Quite a shift the last few minutes. Stating the obvious here, right? Colorado Springs gets 2 goals right after we were saying Indy's had a pretty good start to the second half, so things shifted pretty quick. We'll see what kind of adjustments Indy can make to try to claw their way back in this game.
And both off relatively uneasy opportunities for Colorado Springs. Not a huge build. You know, you had Duke Lacroix on the fast break, Justin Dillon in the right place, right time. Like you said, a fortuitous bounce. So Indy just perhaps needs just a little bit of luck on their side.
Yep, those are tough ones to swallow. Speaking of the last one specifically, the Lacroix shot. You know, we'll see what the team's made of in terms of fighting back here. They haven't been in this situation yet, right? They were up 1-0 against Lexington, tied. They went up real early against Miami, so they haven't really been in this situation yet. What you would like to see as a coach, as a fan, and even as a player on Indy 11 is the fight to get back into this and be dangerous and take risks and all of those things.
On delay on a good run. It was tipped there by Dillon, or perhaps tackled out by Pat Hogan. Regardless, this is going to be another corner kick for Colorado Springs. Now, James Chambers shared with us that his team really feeds on the momentum that they start to build. Perhaps the reason why we saw a back-to-back goals nearly in about 3 minutes, or less, I think, actually. And you get into a position building that momentum. And you talked about confidence that they had with Justin Dillon last week. You just see a confident group. They've got a real pep in their step.
Yeah, they sure do. And as I say, you don't win championships by mistake, right? Like these guys, they're winners, right? And once you've been there and you've done that and you've overcome the obstacles that they overcame last year in terms of the rough start and strong finish and playoff run to the championship, you know, you're not scared of being down 1-0 on the road, and they've certainly shown that.
It's Micheletto on the corner. Zandy looped that ball in. Hunter Salt was ready for it. Your Central Indiana Ford dealers are a proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your local Ford dealer today for great deals on your favorite Ford vehicle. There's Micheletto again. A brace already for 22. Great tackle by Hogan, and Salt will clear. Chased down by Medusala, and Chiza was really bearing down on him.
Frustrating if you're Chiza there, right? He puts in a 60-yard sprint to try to apply some pressure. The rest of the team did not come behind him. That's when, as a forward, you turn around and you look, and you're a little frustrated with the team for not coming with you. You wasted a lot of energy chasing that one down.
Romero on loan from Columbus Crew. Fantastic club out of the MLS. Both goalkeepers on loan from historic MLS franchises. Let's see if Indy 11 can test Romero once more. A chance wide. Taken by James Murphy. And Anthony Fontana seems to be down on the outside channel. Just waiting for some kind of whistle. Joshua Encarnacion finally coming to him. The Brickyard Battalion letting him know about it.
That's what Indy needs to continue to do a little bit more of, right? High press, high energy, win the ball in the attacking half. You see that's what they did there. Led to the long distance shot from Murphy. Colorado Springs is going to try to kill this game off, right? You've seen guys go down here. Romero took his time on the last ball that he got, right? They're going to try to milk this thing and make the next 25 minutes go quick. Here's the look from Murphy. Good prep touch. Takes a pretty good chop at it. Obviously about 5 yards wide, but low and hard. Can't blame him for taking that opportunity. Could he have maybe found a forward and tried for some combo play up the middle potentially, but a decent look there.
Brought to you tonight in part by Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered. Well, Brad, what needs to change out of this sequence here for the 11? Now you're caught in a spot where you've got less than 20 minutes to go, depending on how much stoppage time we have. This is a position for Colorado Springs where they feel really comfortable. They don't have to play from behind in the second half. They started equalized. So if you're the 11, it's the best way to get back into this and start to gain your own type of confidence.
Looks like they're putting some numbers forward. Looks like we have two strikers now. Might be a 3-5-2 if I'm seeing it correctly.
Sala, or Real rather, clears that one away, and this will be a throw in for Malik Foster.
To follow up there, right? High intensity, high pressure, trying to win the ball in the attacking half. We might see Indy 11 playing a little bit more direct.
Stanley has some trouble down there with Duke Lacroix, a veteran that's been around for some time. 11 years now in the USLC, former Indy 11 player. Ball played through, Malik Foster, that's deflected away. Another chance, again Foster goes back heel. No handball call yet. It sure looked like one was pretty close. Regardless, that's out of play, and Foster will head back in. Let's take another look.
Foster with the shot. Goes out wide. Hogan very composed there. Foster with the cheeky back heel. Let's see it again. It was close, but defender's hands are by his side, even behind his back, to be quite honest. Defender does a great job there, keeping his hands out of harm's way.
You know, Indy 11 corner here for Jack Blake and Aiden Stanley. If there was ever a time for a goal, James Murphy, a little bit wide of the 6. Aiden Quinn, a one-timer, no. And Musa collects. Not his usual space. And Aiden Quinn rattles that off of Micheletto. Micheletto, in large part, has been really the player of the match tonight for Colorado Springs. Ever since he came in the 40th minute, he has ignited a sleeping giant who is seeking its first win of the season. They returned 12 players from a championship-winning roster. This is not a team that just had to start all over. It's as if they're just trying to continue. And James Chambers, Stephen Hogan, the sporting director, Matt Bessemer, Alan McCain, and Kelly Brown all contributing to this effort to try to repeat. Can Indy answer here in the second half in the 75th minute? Juan Tejada is gearing up to make his first appearance at the mic. First time since he was a player here at Indy 11.
Looks like the Switchbacks are somewhat content in a low block here. Just trying to keep Indy 11 away from goal, obviously away from central positions, forcing the ball wide, but all 11 guys back in their defensive third.
Elvis Amo was encroaching on the 6 there for Romero. Juan Tejada will enter onto the pitch for Garvin Menesala, the center back. So that may change the shape here for Colorado Springs, or at least push one of the holding mids back perhaps, or have three in the back.
Yeah, I wonder if something else is going on there. Usually not normal to sub a center back there, but yeah, good call out. We'll see how they shift their formation.
He had fallen earlier and looks like he was a little bit maybe favoring that left leg. Here's Aiden Stanley. And what an effort by Duke Lacroix to just dive in front of that ball. The president of the USL PA. Stanley just inside the 18. Malik Foster catching up to it. Saves that ball. That's what the fans love to see. Here's Hogan. Foster once again. He's got some nifty touches. Blake to Foster. Double nine's got some moves around the cage. Chance for Blake, deflected by Tejada. Still alive along the end line. Foster, well, that's still alive here. And finally sent away, and Micheletto collects. What a sequence for the 11.
You're absolutely right. I mean, that might have been goal of the year in week 3 if they were able to punch that one in. The interchange between Jack Blake and Foster was amazing. Foster's he's bringing it all night. 77 minutes in, he's flying, he's saving balls, he's backheeling it off the line, he's combining with teammates. He's brought a lot to Indy here.
He just doesn't stop. He's got some serious juice to him. Oh, Blake, some contact there with Hanya. Encarnacion not giving way to any sort of penalty, just a foul, or card rather, just a foul here. Jack Blake looks a little bit shaken up, but still playing on. Here's Aiden Stanley in the corner. And that got deflected. Be another corner here for Indy 11. A lot of set pieces for Indy. You mentioned off the top, 3 of the 4 goals this season came from set pieces. Another chance here of Femu. The header down, straight into the dirt. Doesn't go over Romero. He was ready for it.
Great ball in by Aiden Quinn. Femu got some contact on it. Probably not as much as he would have liked. You know, he did get it down, which is, you know, kind of what you're told as balls are coming across in terms of heading, but just maybe too far down, and ends up being a pretty easy scoop for Romero.
Okay, great work on the cams tonight as well by our crew. Catching all the angles of tonight's matchup. The rain has begun to fall once again. Elvis Amo knocks that one out of play. Indy 11 Premium Suites are the perfect way to entertain clients, family, and friends. Learn more at www.indy11.com.
It's been a bright response from Indy 11 here the last 5 to 10 minutes since Colorado's gotten their 3rd goal, which you like to see. I'm sure Coach McCauley's enjoying that response, but looking to get one more here in the next 5 or so minutes, so that last 5 to 8 is a dogfight.
2 great chances as well on these last 2 possessions for Indy. So do you believe when you start to see chances that might come true for your team that there's got to be another one coming, right?
Yeah.
We got to cash in on.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what happens here.
Chisholm got some contact. There's no call. Inside the box, too. Tejada. That trademark knee pass that Brad talked about. Dylan got some contact. And the Brickyard Battalion and the rest of the fans here at the mic are letting Joshua Encarnacion feel it.
Calling on the trainer here.
With this, you're guaranteed more stoppage time. Musa got the better of Dillon as far as physicality goes. I'm not so sure.
Those are tough, right?
When the card, and it hasn't yet.
Yeah, when one player jumps and the other doesn't jump, it always looks like the defending player kind of coming through the back of the attacking player is a foul, but you know, it's not always the case. Obviously that one was given, and Colorado Switchbacks are loving it. It's clock's still ticking. Moose, I'm sure, is a little frustrated with it, but
Indy, one of 6 unbeaten USL Championship teams through the first 4 weekends now of action, trying to get 3 unbeaten to start the season. Both these teams were in and around 4 points last year when they met in April. And both coaches were acknowledging, you know, how differently you can start versus how well you can finish a season. Because Colorado Springs looked a little bit despondent to start the season through the first 5 matches, and they go on a run to win the USL title. And Indy had sparked a run as well through May. They went 6 unbeaten. In this league, you really have the capability to make a strong push at any time of the year. So even if you have a slow start, not exactly indicative of how the rest of the season's going to go. It's a long way to go here.
yeah, it's early. We talked a little bit about it at halftime in terms of the parity within the league.
So Romero will resume play. Justin Dillon trotting along the sideline at the opposite end. Nicoletto tried to head that ball for a play for himself. Musa, great cross pitch pass. Being chased down by Malik Foster. A 2-1 opportunity, and Foster kind of sailed that ball. He was looking for Chizza.
It's another one Foster probably wish he had back. It's been so dangerous all game, though, but 2 crosses, I think, it's got a little too much air on him, under him.
Chizza to Amo. Amo settling in inside the 18. Foster. That's well wide. Maybe not the contact he wanted. Stevie Echeverria will check in for Colorado Springs. In for Justin Dillon. So that does right for Colorado Springs. Keystone Group, specializing in transformational developments, construction, management, and investments. Murphy played forward. A lot of contact there with Blake in the back. Mahoney cleared that one away, and Fontana played that one off. A little bit of a miss hit, out of play. Stays with Indy. There's Murphy through to Pat Hogan. A little bit too much on that ball. Chizza catches up to it. Time is of the essence here for Indy 11. Quinn, looping ball in. Man, you never know. Sometimes Aiden Quinn can just put a deft touch on that ball, and it's got a chance of going in.
Yeah, he saw some big bodies in the box and tried to put it in a dangerous spot. Just sailed on him a little bit out for a goal kick.
Loop to Real. Micheletto along the outside channel. Nicely done by Murphy to keep that one alive, and in some contact there with Micheletto. This will be a foul. Your Central Indiana Ford dealers are a proud sponsor of Indy 11 soccer. Visit your local Ford dealer today for great deals on your favorite Ford vehicle.
Sean McCauley's got to be thinking, what can I do? Who can I bring in to bring a little bit of energy? We'll see if he dials anyone up here in the next minute or two, but it certainly helped Colorado Springs when they brought in their trio there initially. They scored right before that, then again right after that, and they've looked like the fresher team here as of late.
Well, you can point sometimes in a soccer match to just a couple moments that were almost, and in this one for the 11, a couple moments there about 10 or so minutes ago, especially with Malik Foster doing some wizardry, trying to make something happen. Just not able to get one to go. Here's Jack Blake, though. As he takes a tumble, that's going to be another turnover.
Might get him for a handball there, I think.
So,
it's
yeah.
unlucky. I mean, he gets kind of tripped up. Not saying it's a foul, but Romero's grabbing a drink of water here instead of coming up to take this.
Take another peek.
Yeah.
Can't really help that one.
Yeah, it's tough. It hits his left arm. I mean, it's the right call. Unfortunate for Jack Blake. But yeah, just you were getting back, about some points during the game, right? A bounce this way, a bounce that way. Indy's done a great job putting the ball into dangerous spots. Hasn't quite bounced their way, maybe enough. And then you think back to the Switchbacks' third goal and kind of a ricochet that falls right to Dylan, who does a great job with it, but once again, kind of a fortuitous bounce. We'll see if, how the ball bounces here the last 3 minutes of regulation, and then I'm assuming there's going to be 4 or 5 minutes of stoppage time.
You'll certainly get a substantial amount. Maybe not enough to mount a comeback. However, it's worth mentioning that Sacramento had a 2-0 lead on Colorado Springs last week, and some fortuitous penalties allowed Colorado Springs to get a goal in the 85th and the 96th minutes to escape with a point. So you're not really out of the woods yet if you're Indy. Have to keep pressing. Stanley down to Amo. Good deflection by Duke Lacroix. Duke, who played his college ball at UPenn, joined the USLC immediately after, played for Indy, Orange County, Reno, and Sacramento. Also a part of the Haitian national team.
He's carved out a really good career. Always loved seeing that. Played with him his first year, as you said, and great player, hard worker, amazing guy.
Romero clutches that ball out of the air. Amo was ready for it after Romero had already plucked it.
Foster's laboring over here on the right side. Came up a little limp after that last run.
Yeah, clearly favoring lower body injury perhaps for Foster. Man, that was a heck of a one-timer from him earlier today. Looks like Logan Neidlinger is going to get his first action of the night. His first professional goal last season against New Mexico. What a moment that was. He was became the first Academy player for Indy 11 to get a goal as an Academy product. Really incredible stuff from the youngster. And signed a contract through this season. 8 minutes of stoppage time for Indy 11 and Colorado Springs. So Switchbacks are 8 minutes away from their first win and 3 points. Well, Indy, 1 win and 1 draw this season after defeating Miami FC in the opener and going to Lexington and getting a point there. Lexington team that looks like a pretty strong club in their first year in the USLC. And if that's indicative of what's to come down the road with promotion and relegation, we're going to be in for a really fun campaign down the line for the 3 divisions that will be garnering the USL. Now you got to hit the turbo for Indy 11. The USL on CBS kicks off April 6th with 2 former USL Championship title winners battling it out. Join us Sunday, April 6th, as undefeated San Antonio FC takes on Western Conference rival Phoenix Rising FC at 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Here's Jos Hanya. A goal in the title game. Juan Tejada was the USL Championship final MVP with the opening goal against Rhode Island FC, who knocked off Indy 11 here at the mic to end their season in the playoffs in 2024. J.J. Williams continuing his dominant run as well. 3 goals already this season. Free foul there, and
these fouls are tough.
Yields that one, yep.
Fouls are tough for Indy, right? Every foul, it's probably 30 to 45 seconds that ticks off the clock. Colorado Springs is more than happy to pick up those fouls and let that clock tick.
Stanley trying to advance that ball to Amo. And Micheletto just works it to the 3 backs.
Micheletto, obviously with the 2 goals, showing his work rate defensively as well. He's putting in a heck of a game. Ball down the left.
Sure is. Jack Blake, a chance. Romero the save just in time.
Great save by Romero.
On loan from the Columbus Crew, proving why there might be 2 number 1s in between the sticks for Colorado Springs. A looping ball doesn't go either. And man, a performance
would have made it interesting
for Romero. That really would have.
That would have made it interesting. Jack Blake with a great run, good first touch. He kind of tries a toe poke outside of the foot. Looks like maybe he was trying to go between the legs. It's a great save.
And that'll be a yellow card for a delay.
I've seen crazier things. I've seen comebacks. There's still 4 minutes.
Have you been a part of any?
I have. A college one is coming to mind. Tejada with a jersey tug there on Aiden Quinn.
Aiden Quinn down to Aiden Stanley. Good ball in. A chance for Efemu. He settles on it. Efemu down to Neidlinger, where it could be dangerous. Nice move on the nutmeg. Spice there from Neidlinger, and another turnover, much to the chagrin of the 11.
Efemu was trying to get a clean first touch there to then shoot it on the second touch. His first touch, wet turf, it just kind of squeaks a little bit outside of his wheelhouse.
Jack Blake loops that down to Chiza. Last heave here in the final 3 minutes. Edward Chiza down to Neidlinger. Along the end line, he just sends it back cross pitch to Aiden Stanley.
a name we haven't said much in Chizza.
Hogan trying to find somebody's head there. Back out to Stanley. You're right. Deflected, and that's out of play. Yeah, Chizza, not a ton of impact as the 9 today. However, still some time left. Quinn looping again. Was off of Elvis Amo, and Neidlinger keeps that alive along the corner. And some contact there with Hanya. On a final push here. Murphy to Quinn. Brickyard Battalion not quieting down here late. The time is winding. Nicoletto skies that ball, and Hanya chases down, but keeps it in play. Murphy, good look inside to Chizza. Quinn, stopped on it, and a handball down low.
Yeah.
By Echeverria, rather. So this will be a free kick here for Aiden Quinn, Jack Blake. Much needed here, much needed goal here for Indy 11.
Colorado Springs doing a great job of, bending but not breaking here. Indy's had a good run of possessions, a couple good chances. Haven't let one in to let them back in the game, keeping that door closed as of now. We'll see what Quinn can do here.
And it's in! Aiden Quinn, Indy 11's Iron Man, gets the deficit to 1, and Indy sees the checkered flag. Much like their jerseys, indicative of the Brickyard, they got to go fast here to find the next goal, but what a hit from Aiden Quinn.
That's big. Hope it's not too little too late for Indy's sake, but it's a great hit by Quinn to pull him within 1. Indy's probably got 1 minute here to try to get an equalizer.
Last-ditch effort. You got the goal you needed to at least get close. Can you escape with a point? Musa, the clear. One final possession for the 11. Down to Neidlinger. Amongst the mist and cloud of the smoke here at the mic. Ofemu lost the touch there in the corner. Hanya just needs to get this off. That's going to favor the 11. Neidlinger will throw in.
He's going to try to throw it into Hogan. Hopefully he can get a flick on.
Hogan high up in the sky, headed out once again, and that'll do it. Colorado Springs fends off the 11's comeback in the final 2 minutes and gets its first win of the season. Pretty remarkable fashion for James Chambers' team to do so. They yield 3 points off 3 goals, a brace for Marco Micheletto, and James Dillon has a 2-game scoring streak as well. What an effort from the Switchbacks, especially in the late part of the first half and the second half.
Yeah, it really was. Look, it was an action-packed game. We had 5 goals, tons of opportunities. From a soccer fan's sake, it was an entertaining game.
The Colorado Springs Switchbacks get their first win of the season. When we come back, post-game show, interviews with coach and players from Indy 11 on the way back on MyIndyTV and ESPN+.
Every place has a purpose, and the people who inhabit those places have their own reasons for being there. The last thing on their minds should be concerns about the safety of the places they are in. When it comes to security and safety for all the places that matter, Dormicaba offers a seamless flow of integrated solutions that allow people to move securely about their daily lives. Because the places that matter to you matter to us.
It's very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Accessing healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me. Find it. Try it. Paint it. Love it. Find it. Try it. Paint it. Love it. Find it. Try it, paint it, love it. Find it, try it, paint it, love it. Find it, try it, paint it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
The final from Mike A. Carroll Stadium, 3-2 in favor of Colorado Springs. They garner their first match win of the season, and 3 points for the Switchbacks and the reigning champs. It was a heck of an effort by both sides. In Indy 11 with Aiden Quinn's last goal to try to get back within one, Brad, just not enough to lift them. They just didn't have the same spirit in the second half that perhaps we saw in the first half.
Yeah, it was a back-and-forth affair. Pretty even game. Obviously, Colorado Switchbacks gets 2 goals in the second half within 2-3 minutes, and that really changed the tides. Indy tried their best late to push and fight for it. They got 1, but it was just a little too late.
Let's take a look at, while it was a 5-goal performance, the Schleg lockdown play of the game. It was a save by Romero, and for Abraham Romero, it was a night to remember, really, in his first start of the season, and he had some seriously impressive saves late in the game as well, but this one came in the first half.
Yeah, it was a great save. The one that comes to mind is the late one on Jack Blake in the second half as well.
So where do you go here if you're Indy? Now, of course, you were unbeaten through the first 2 matches. We're going to hear from Sean McCauley here in a second, but you have another home match next week against North Carolina, and things spell good when North Carolina comes to town for Indy 11. Now you're in a position where you need a win, perhaps, because there's ones all across the board.
Yeah, it's a tough result, I think, for Indy 11. Coach McCauley's not going to be happy with the result. I think the fight and creating the chances was all there. We'll get a chance to talk with him here now.
Ed Gafford for Indy 11 has joined us now. Coach, thank you for taking some time post-game. We talked to you at the end of the first half, and you're pleased with the effort, but needed more out of your guys. That second half, Colorado Springs just got on a tear there for a little bit with back-to-back goals. How do you assess the performance today?
Yeah, I think you're probably right. They got on a tear for about 5 minutes, didn't they? Because I think for the first 10 minutes that second half, we were the team that was pushing forward, trying to get the goal. And then obviously we concede and then concede again. So, it's not game over for us because we'll always fight to the end. But it's a bit difficult when you're playing against a really good team, the champions, and they know how to close the game out. And, we scored that one late on, which is probably too late for us. But, at least we kept going to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of leads into my question. Obviously not the result you wanted, but what did you like out there from the boys in the home opener?
I think their effort and commitment, which is what we pride ourselves on, was there. So I'm not too concerned about that. I think we need to improve maybe on the final pass, maybe a little bit like equality in the final ball. But to the start of the second half, we wanted to get some combination play down the left-hand side, and we got in down that side numerous times, and then we couldn't really get the final ball in to create a real good scoring opportunity. But overall effort and commitment, I'm really pleased with. We need to improve. I think, losing Bruno Rendon in the warm-up, Hayden White earlier on in the week, we're out with Romario and Brem, so Elliot Collier got injured on Thursday at training. So we're suffering a little bit because, as you know, in the USL, if you lose players, then it's really difficult, but I'm really pleased with everybody that stepped in because, over the season, we're going to need everybody.
Coach, last year when these two teams played, it was, I think, about 4 points apiece, perhaps. And you talked earlier this week and on Soccer Saturday this morning about you can't really judge a team too early in the season, right? And how do you assess these early games, through the first 5 matches here in March and April?
I mean, for us, we want to get a points total. You know, I've sort of said every 5 games, if we can get 8 points, then we'll be in a pretty good position to make the playoffs, and maybe even a little bit higher than, you know, maybe into the top 4. So, you know, it's difficult because you're looking at everybody and everybody's finding their feet. For us, we need to improve because we need to win games at home. That's a big thing for us. It's a tough start for us against the champions, like I said, but we'll come in next week. We'll work towards getting 3 points against North Carolina.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Good luck next week. You're back at the mic, so you get to stay home. No flights.
Thank you. Yeah, cheers. Bye-bye.
Coach McCauley and his post-game thoughts. Appreciate his time. Let's take a look at the securing the win moment brought to you by Allegiant. Duke Lacroix came in, and this was literally the goal that secured the win for Justin Dillon. He had to brace last week on penalty kicks. He gets a goal in the run of play on this one, and outdid the Indy 11. That was the back-to-back that we mentioned and Coach McCauley talked about as well. And Colorado Springs never looked back once they started to gain some confidence, like you said earlier, Brad.
Yeah, it was a veteran finish from Dillon there. Just a little chip up over the goalie. Really kind of sealed it from that point. Indy tried their best to fight back, and credit to the squad for putting in the work rate and playing a little bit more direct and so forth there and getting the late one, but just not enough. A little too late there.
Jack Blake is getting ready to join us here in our post-game show. Rocking the headset on, and Jack, there was a supreme effort by the boys in blue tonight, and that first half was really all over the place. You guys were really showing us some serious effort. How do you assess the team's play? I know it was a loss, but how do you feel about how you guys did?
Yeah, you know, the effort is a minimum for us. That's the minimum standard. I think, you know, we wanted to reward the fans, and we didn't do that tonight. It was disappointing. Disappointed in myself for not taking that chance at the end. I think that could have made a big difference. So definitely a lot to reflect on. But we got a strong group mentally, so we'll bounce back and we'll be ready for next week.
Anything specifically, Jack, outside of the effort that you really liked out of the team? Obviously, Coach McCauley mentioned a couple injuries here, even in warm-ups over the last couple of days that kind of thinned the team out a little bit. But what did you really like specifically out of the game here today? Yeah.
Bruno got an injury in the warm-up. Obviously, he's a key player for us, so I thought the lads did well to adapt. Ollie came in and, you know, on short notice, did really well, put his heart into it. Like I said, you know, just the minimum standards for us to give 100%. If we're not doing that, that's a big problem. So I think the first half performance, maybe we put away a few more chances when we're at 1-0 and the game's very different. And then when we concede, I think we just got to stay a bit stronger not to concede that third one. But yeah, it's tiny details that make a big difference, you know, so it hurts tonight.
Well, Jack, we appreciate the time. You guys getting another chance at home, another crack at another team with North Carolina coming in. Good luck next week, and thank you for the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jack Blake, again, minimum effort is always going to be the name of the game for Indy 11. We're going to get to hear from the captain of the boys in blue, Aiden Quinn, when we come back from break. More post-game show after this on MyIndy TV and ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.
It's like whether you're hot, cold, or somewhere in between, at Williams Comfort Air, we look forward to keeping your home comfortable for life.
Imagine a health insurance company that could look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals and help its members find what they need to actually live healthier lives, like a stable job, dependable transportation, or a safe place to live. Well, that health insurance company is not only real, but making a real difference right now. At CareSource, we're removing barriers. We're improving lives. We're reimagining health insurance.
Our team at Security Federal Savings Bank welcomes you to our newest location, our West Carmel branch on Michigan Road, here to serve you. All the services you expect from a premier bank, personal and business banking, wealth management, trust services, and much more. The Security Federal Savings Bank branch team offers the expertise and knowledge you want and expect. Security Federal Savings Bank, proud of our team and our newest West Carmel location.
Misting rain has turned into more of a downpour late, and I think all players are thankful for that as they head in the locker room. One Iron Man, Aiden Quinn, has decided to stay out on the pitch and chat with us. Aiden, thanks for taking some time. Walk us through. Jack just said the effort is a minimum for you guys, and I know you're probably disappointed with the result, not being able to come away with 3 or 1, but walk us through how you feel like your team did today.
Yeah, I don't think there's any fault in the effort. The character of the group's great, so I don't think that'll ever be a question. We gave up kind of soft goals, and if you give up 3 goals at home, it's going to be tough to win. So I think if we fix those little mistakes, we'll give ourselves a better chance.
I think more of the same, kind of prepping for next week's game against North Carolina? Or you think there's any change-ups or switches, kind of warranted from the coaching side of things?
That's on coach. That has nothing to do with us. We just have to get back on the training field, hopefully right our mistakes, and then come back and hopefully give our fans something to cheer about.
Yeah, the effort was there all game. Certainly saw it from the booth, and the BYB certainly respected it as well. So appreciate all the effort there. It was an entertaining game for sure. I know you don't like coming out on the wrong side of a 3-2 score, but the effort was certainly there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we get 2 goals so we can celebrate with our fans, but yeah, we need to make this place a hard place for teams to come. So if we can get that first win next week, that'll be great.
It has been in the past and probably will continue to be that way. Aiden, where do you feel like this team can go?
I think the sky's the limit. The character of the group is unbelievable. Everyone gets along really well. A lot of good guys. I think we just have to fix a couple mistakes. I think we're very hard to break down. Obviously, we gave up 3 goals today, but I think we're organized, we're compact, and then we have threat on the counterattack, and then we can also play with the ball a bit. So I think we have a lot of room to grow, but I think we're very good.
Well, Aiden, we appreciate the time. Good luck next week against North Carolina. Go get you one.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Aiden Quinn, the captain of the Indy 11, so gracious with his time to join us. And that'll do it from the mic. Excellent work from the Indy 11, but unable to surmount the Switchbacks. They win, get their first win of the USLC. For Brad Ring, I'm Joey Lindstrom. For Seamus Kreider and our entire Tupelo Honey crew, this has been a presentation of Indy 11 Soccer on ESPN Plus and MyNDTV.
Our team at Security Federal Savings Bank welcomes you to our newest location, our West Carmel branch on Michigan Road, here to serve you. All the services you expect from a premier bank, personal and business banking, wealth management, trust services, and much more. The Security Federal Savings Bank branch team offers the expertise and knowledge you want and expect. Security Federal Savings Bank, proud of our team and our newest West Carmel location.
Imagine a health insurance company that could look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals and help its members find